Clara Finch wasn't one for ghost stories. A typist at a Hampstead solicitor's office, she preferred the clatter of her typewriter to the chatter of pub gossip about Highgate Cemetery's so-called vampire. But Easter 1970 had brought a strange unease to North London. Newspapers screamed of a tall, grey figure gliding through the graveyard, draining foxes and chilling passers-by. Clara's flatmate, Maggie, devoured every word, clipping articles about dead animals and occult rituals. "It's real, Clara," she'd say, eyes wide. "Something's out there." Clara rolled her eyes until the night she saw it herself. It was Good Friday, and Clara had taken the late bus home from a client meeting. The route cut along Swain's Lane, the narrow road splitting Highgate Cemetery's east and west halves. The street lamps flickered as she stepped off, her heels clicking against the damp pavement. Fog curled thick, swallowing the iron gates ahead. She hurried, clutching her coat, but a prickle ran down her neck like someone watching. She glanced back. Nothing but mist. Then, across the lane, a shape moved. Tall, impossibly thin, it stood just beyond the cemetery's wall, its outline blurring into the fog. Two pinpoints of red glowed where eyes should be. Clara froze, her breath catching. The figure didn't advance. It simply watched, as if measuring her. A car's headlights swept through, and when they passed, the shape was gone. She didn't sleep that night. Maggie, thrilled, dragged her to the Archway Tavern the next evening, where locals swapped tales over pints. An old man swore he'd seen the figure float over a tombstone. A girl claimed it whispered her name. Clara stayed quiet, her mind replaying those red eyes. The pub buzzed with talk of two men, David, a wiry occultist, and Sean, a self-styled vampire hunter who'd vowed to end the haunting. "They're both mad," Clara muttered, but Maggie grinned. "Let's go see for ourselves." Against her better judgment, Clara followed Maggie to the cemetery on Easter Sunday night. The gates were locked, but Maggie knew a spot where the wall dipped low. They climbed over, giggling nervously, into the West Cemetery's tangle of ivy and crooked stones. Moonlight barely pierced the canopy, casting claw-like shadows. "This is stupid," Clara whispered, but Maggie pressed on, clutching a torch. They reached the Egyptian Avenue, its looming arches like a portal to another world. That's when the air turned cold. Not crisp, but heavy, like stepping into a cellar. "Maggie, let's go," Clara hissed, but her friend was staring ahead. The torch beam shook in her hand, catching a figure at the avenue's end. It was Himp, the grey shape from Swain's Lane, 7 feet tall, its coat trailing like smoke. The red eyes locked on them, and Clara felt a pull, like her thoughts were unraveling. Maggie whimpered, dropping the torch. The light spun, shadows dancing, and the figure glided forward, not walking, but drifting an inch above the path. Clara grabbed Maggie's arm, yanking her back. They stumbled over roots, the cold biting deeper, until they reached the wall and scrambled out. The next morning, Clara found Maggie burning the newspaper clippings. "I'm done," Maggie said, pale and hollow. It wasn't a vampire. It was worse. Clara didn't argue. She'd felt it too, not hunger, but a weight, like the figure fed on fear itself. She never walked Swain's Lane again, but sometimes, typing late at the office, she'd hear a faint whisper behind her, like footsteps on gravel. The vampire hunters bickered on, their feud filling papers. But Clara knew the truth. Whatever haunted Highgate wasn't theirs to kill. It was older than the cemetery, older than London, and it was still watching. Many thanks for treading this tale's dark path. If its chill gripped you, follow, subscribe, and comment below.